This is Paul. Yes, this true threat, under circumstances that would cause a reasonable person to believe that he is serious about executing the threat. Yes, the speaker must make the threat under circumstances. Oh, the circumstances. Ooch. Now, this fraud of issuing a 2 count criminal complaint in Sequim, Washington. I have a real problem with the police state. Pooch. And the first part, you violated my rights in 2011. Oh. Then you arrested me in 2012, where I didn't try to contact the petitioner. I was contacting Healthy Families of Clallam County to see if they got the documentation from Guam that I had completed diversion. Yes. And then I was found not guilty and you reissued it. And then you modified it, Pastor Greg Miller, without me seeing any of the documentation about what was being said. Now, it seems that law enforcement likes to keep from the accused the actual documentation. Pooch. Then you video arraigned me on in September 19th of last year. $500,000 bail bond. Pooch. I mentioned that a lot of individuals don't like to spend time in jail. Yes. And it was Judge Landis that I said, well, she didn't sign it. But my public defender told the mental health evaluator that you gave her a chance to sign it. Now, here's how you really fuck up a person's life, okay? Pooch. Let's say that you had convicted me of a crime. Yes, I wasn't in Brennan, Washington on June 16th of 2017. I was sitting right here, and I could have called as zealous witnesses for myself the Port Angeles Police Department. Yes. But my public defender didn't want me to see the actual file of everything that the prosecuting attorney had given him because I requested everything in the file. Pooch. Now, when you're in prison, I think you have a right to your complete criminal record. Yes. A lot of people in prison, they don't like being there. And how you do this is, let's say you know somebody in prison that doesn't happen to be doing much during that time. Yes. You give your whole criminal file to somebody else that happens to be in that prison to read at their leisure and see if they can see where you got fucked over, 10 years before. Yes. Because you told a cop to fuck themselves while you were getting arrested, while under the influence of any sort of substance. Yes. And they added to the charges verbal assault. Pooch. You got an extra month for that, but it made your criminal record look like you dislike law enforcement. Ow. Well, you got picked up on another charge, and you end up going to prison for that one. Pooh, not knowing that contempt of cop is not a crime. Ouch! Now, these lawsuits that I keep telling you about, there is a lot of money in them. Those in prison, when you give that, you make sure that they never discuss your personal criminal record. It's important that you don't discuss the lawsuit with anybody, but you have a personal conversation with another inmate about, well, did you see where I was before a judge approximately 10 years before, and there was a corrupt cop that added the charges? And that affected the number of years I got in prison, because in this judicial system of the United States, everything that happens adds to what happens, that it results in what happened. Now, how are you today? This whole concept of, well, it doesn't matter. It does matter when you're in prison. Pooch. Now, let's say that inmate, whomever it might be, because you do not discuss your personal criminal record with any person in prison, you don't do it. It ruins a lawsuit. I don't discuss my personal lawsuits with anybody. I just document them. Now, the inmate says, well, I can see here that when you were 25 years old, they actually didn't read you your Miranda rights. Oh, in fact, when I was arraigned, they didn't do the same thing to me, Pooch. In fact, there is no police statement that you were involved in any crime. Same thing happened to me. Pooh. The prosecuting attorney decided to file a 2-count criminal complaint, cyber stalking and violating a protection order on or about June 16th of 2017. But the prosecuting attorney would not allow you to see the evidence. Now, prosecuting attorneys are fucking up the lives of those that are in prison. Ow. Ow, ow. Why is it that the accused should always get all of the evidence while on trial so they can keep a documentation of exactly what they're accused of, and they can make sure that the due processes of law are enforced because it matters to how long they spend in prison? Now, once you know as an inmate of any prison of the United States that you were really wronged, and that judge and 2 judges before the one that put you in prison, yes, actually did violate your rights, and that's what resulted in you getting so many years in prison. Pooch, you're going to call Dave Reed. Oh, you're going to put the whole file, yes, in an envelope and send it to him so that he and another guy can photocopy it, and at their leisure in a Mexican whorehouse, they're going to sit there and read it. Then I'm going to call him Pooch. And I'm going to say, Dave, do you have any lawsuits for me? Oh! Now, there are some very important parts of this, okay? Do not ever discuss your personal criminal record with any inmate except for the person that you want to have read the whole thing. Now, Dave's going to make a lot of money. There's millions of dollars in these lawsuits right now.